Alright, so I thought of this while we were on a break, just to kind of transition us into gaming. I want to talk about some of our favorite online experiences playing video games. Like, it might have been something we said, or a specific game that was really good. Like, we staked somebody really well. Like, a couple of nights ago, about a week ago, Colorado and I were playing Xbox, and we were playing Halo Online, and it was a couple of good ones where we staked the other team, and it was 2-on-6, because all our teammates quit. We were on Halo 1, the best Halo for us to play, as far as getting kills goes. And after that, I decided, because I started getting pretty vulgar and vile, so, yeah, experiences like that.
I don't have... So, if you played video games as long as me and Bill and Chris before we stopped playing video games, you've all had the experience where you're doing really well and you're fucking everybody else over and it feels fantastic. But that's nothing compared to the experience when you're trolling people.
Yeah.
The fuck are you talking about? I play video games.
I mean,
trolling
now
people.
you do again, but... I don't know. Yeah, my favorite online experiences are definitely Unreal 2 The Awakening and Shadowrun, because you just trolled... Well, not as much in Shadowrun, but Unreal 2 The Awakening was just trolling the shit out of people over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're past that age, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many people actually play their Xbox online with their mics plugged in anymore and not in a party?
Yeah, that's not a thing anymore. Everyone's just not there.
Well, sometimes they are, but
Yeah.
most of the time, no.
Every once in a while, because the people who have an open mic nowadays usually are the good team players. Not like they're good at video games, but they have decent chatter.
Right, or they're the people who are on there just to troll people like I used to back in the day.
Yeah.
And they'll just end up pissing you off, because they're not above team killing, they're not above any of that shit, as long as it's more fun for them.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm back in the conversation.
Okay.
So I'm wondering, I find it funny that I understand that we've had this conversation about what a gamer actually is. But when you were even just talking about online gaming, you only brought up you three, Bill and Chris, and yourself, and you didn't mention Joe.
Right, I have no idea about your video game history, Joe.
That's very true. I am very private. I'd say for the longest time, up until probably 360, and even then I never really got on chat, just because it was probably, by the time I started playing online games, it was about the peak of minus Warcraft, it was the peak of the douche nozzles on every level you played. And that one kid who was just extremely racist.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Those still exist in every game, no matter what you're playing.
But yeah, mainly I just did System Link a lot, so playing directly with friends and owning them.
Yeah.
Because I know you guys think probably out of the four of us, I'm probably the weakest link for the most part.
You are the weakest link.
Goodbye. But think about my high school friends when me and my brother were the top players.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're not the weakest link, Joe, who are you better at video games than in this group?
In this group?
Yeah, in this group.
It all depends on the game and the day. I'm
So-
really back and forth. I'm mostly a good player to have on your team.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then I'll be a top scorer. Like that one time I outscored you.
Yeah.
You know, again,
An action sack.
Yeah, action sacks. Again, it was the one time. But for the most part, my kill-death ratio is pretty balanced.
Yeah.
But what was my best online experience? I had it just a second ago. Come back to me.
Mine, I can't point to just one game. It's spread out.
Yeah.
From SOCOM where you blew up the outhouses when people were in them and you just laugh, or because with SOCOM there was no radar, so it was all very much like, where's the enemy? It's like you can only identify by light or sound. I would go follow a guy who was just cussing us, and I would just take my gun and go just light up the air.
That was really fun to do in Call of Duty. Follow people around and shoot rapidly.
Yeah.
Well, the other one was I was playing Halo on the original Xbox, and we were me and my friend at the time we were we were playing Capture the Flag, and every time this little kid, every time he would touch the flag, he would scream really loudly and throw grenades at the floor, trying to get away from everybody. He's like, "I'm a bomber!" he's like, "Get away from me!" Every time he literally like if he wasn't touching the flag, he'd be calm, he'd be shooting stuff. But every time he said flag picked up, he's like, "I got it!"
I really so. First off, there's times in my life where I've really enjoyed playing Call of Duty. As a game in general, I don't mind Call of Duty. The franchise in general, I'm not a fan of. But anyways, I was playing with this one guy, and one of the challenges was to get a certain amount of kills with sticky grenades. I was really bad at getting kills with sticky grenades. So I would practice on his body, because, friendly fire was on, it wasn't a big deal. But I'd throw the sticky grenades at him, and he'd be prone or some shit, and he'd go running out into enemy fire, because he'd hear the beep, and then he'd die over and over again. And I almost lost that friendship over me sticking him over and over again.
Well, I don't know. What about Battlefield, where you would put C4 on the jet and just crash it into people?
I would do kind of a thing like that in Halo, where I'd fly a Banshee straight down at a group of people, like say if it was Capture the Flag and a bunch of people just spawn on the enemy team. I'd hop out and stick the Banshee as it was falling, and it would blow up and kill like 2 or 3 people. The first time I did that was in Halo 2, and we were just this little sliver of time between the enemies capping our flag and winning, or ending in a tie. And I was like, I'm going for the tie. This is when Halo 2 was still in its peak of online. This is the first time I ever did it. I flew my Banshee in, dropped out, chucked a grenade, and stuck it, and killed everyone on the other team. And then the flag's just sitting there, and then game over, and it was tied. And then somebody in the chat on our team was like, "Who just did that? That was fucking amazing!"
It's really funny to me that, like, if you look back even 2 years ago, you could say definitely what was the most popular game online, like what everybody played on the consoles. But now you can't do that anymore because everybody hates the new Call of Duties.
Yeah.
I don't know, like
probably Destiny, honestly.
Yeah.
My favorite Call of Duty memory was definitely once Ian's a little kid, but he didn't take the game seriously. So throughout the whole match, he would sing like this song about squirt guns. He'd be like, "Water's pouring out, fire, 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 you got me, it's summertime." And we're just like, "What the fuck are you singing about?" "My squirt gun, he's like, Super Soaker 5000. Okay, what about the time when you were playing League on top and the guy said, "Truce, truce, truce, truce"?
My God. Anybody who's played online games for a certain amount of time have had those times when you and the enemy team are just going to be allies against your friends or whatever. I was playing League, and me and the top laner, he was playing Jax. If you don't know League of Legends, it's a very strong top laner, gets a lot of kills up top, and I was playing Vladimir, and I was like, okay, I won't attack you if you don't attack me. And we just passively farmed the entire game and never killed each other, and his teammates would come in and I would kill his teammates right in front of him. And you gotta understand, League is an extremely competitive game where that shit just does not fly.
Well, I was with you, and I was doing mid lane, and what he would do was, he's like, "Hey, my teammate's coming, you better run," or
yeah, he'd warn me and shit.
He'd be like, "He's coming right there." You ping it. He's like, "He's coming right there," and his teammate would be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
It was fantastic.
He's like, "You asshole." And then during team battles, he would jump out and just stand there. He's like, I had a truce.
Okay, so there's this thing we do back in Halo Reach. I got online and I started this online community of challenge hunters. It's kind of like what achievement hunters would be. We did achievements first, and then we go back and do challenges. There was this one community play day. We got everyone together, and one guy was like, "Oh shit, I forgot I worked today." He dropped out, so we were one guy short, and we're like, "Fuck it, let's just go in." And so we spent the whole time, as our teams are just constantly rotating, and that one person would keep joining. We would the guys on the other team would be like, okay, he's right here, kill him. So we'd ignore everyone else who was a friend of ours, and we'd just kill him. Like, our team on the, like, whoever was opposite team, they'd just have kills, like 5, 3, 8, and like 7 kills. And then the other team, no kills, no deaths, and then that one stranger, just 25 deaths. We did it, I think, 9 games in a row.
It couldn't have been the same person. They would leave.
They
How
left.
many people per game did you get?
We got 1 person per game because they would... I was surprised that they stuck out for the whole match and they didn't just quit. But it was freaking hilarious. One guy, like, finally, he tried to stick it out for 2 matches. In the mid-game, like, between 2 games, he was in the chat and he's like, what the hell is going on? What is wrong with you people? He was like, we were like, we only just saw you. He's like, okay. I just thought something fishy was going on. And we did it again. He quit.
What an idiot.
He quit at 15 points, and we just all got together in the middle, and we just got all on team or party chat, and we were just talking the whole time.
When Master Chief Collection first came out, me and Bill would do stuff when we were on opposite teams, like rocket jump to the top and like just work together and shit like that too.
My team's coming, get ready. Yeah, I love doing that. That's why I want to play Left 4 Dead 4 and get like a group of 3 people together and then piss off that one person.
Yeah,
Just like, we all start. We just stare at the guy and just unload on him until he has like a sliver of health, and then you just go. He's like, what the fuck?
There's something really satisfying about being a complete dick in video games.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was like in Counter-Strike. I would just run around with a knife in the gunfight. So
Yeah.
there'll be guys with like machine guns just shooting at me, and I'm just like trying to swing. And then there's some times where I'll just look down and just run, so it looks like characters doing this. Or if you remember with the in Call of Duty 4 with the Claymore, when you look up and you run, it looks like you're doing this.
Oh yeah, you're hugging your chest and just running around looking straight up.
So what I would do during Search and Destroy, I would just go around the little like what do you have to blow up, and I would just go around doing this, and the whole enemy team's like, what the fuck are you doing?
I love it. That is the best you can ever do.
That's about it for me. You know, you can't really have that much fun in MMOs, especially RPGs. You can't really do that.
Destiny's pretty fun. If I had more
That's
people
not-
to play with,
It's not a, it's not a fantasy RPG. That's what
That's
I'm
true.
talking about.
Yeah.
Like you can't have. I'm sure you can have fun in World of Warcraft, I guess, but you can't have like random, funny kind of fun.
I've
It's
they had a
always
fucking
class.
wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, you could do
You run
you
through
could
their
do
ring.
that. You what some friends of mine who played WoW, what they did when WoW first came out, for they led the dragon, one of the dragons, all the way to the Horde city,
Yeah.
and then they just unleash it, and they all run away, and so the Horde, so basically in this Horde city, all the level like ones and all the way like 10s and under would just keep dying because the dragon would just keep just firing on them.
So MMOs really do take trolling to a new level. What's the big MMO where they have like companies and corporations and stuff? I think it's EVO Online. I'm not sure. But anyways, like they had somebody in their company who was a corporate spy who got all the way up to the top of the company and transferred all their money out of their company and into a personal account or some shit. And this is people who have been playing this game for thousands and thousands of hours of work for this company, and he just completely robs them blind.
Jeez.
Like, start from level 1, whatever you have on your back. It's fucking, like, that game where there's actually economies and, like, different stuff in this MMO is really, really intense and really funny when you fuck people over.
Yeah. I personally haven't been able to fuck around on...
Maybe it's EVE Online, actually.
Might have been Eve. My favorite trolling I ever did was back in my old days of World of Warcraft. I would play a hunter, and I'd get into a raid, and I'd immediately just call tank, and people were like, what the fuck are you doing? And so I'd kite tank. That's where you kind of like pull pull aggravation on a group of enemies and run and have them chase you for a while. And then I'd pull them into like a group of people and they'd be like, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? Go away! Go away! And I'd be like, they're coming! They want to be our friends! So, like, I always look for those perfect games where you can kite things into groups of people, and it's kind of hard to find nowadays.
Well, I mean, Call of Duty Black Ops Zombies is all about kiting zombies into people. If you play at high enough level.
It's true.
I mean, I guess WoW does have some. I guess WoW does have its trolling moments, like the explosive sheep.
Yeah.
Well, you just send your explosive sheep after this level 1. It's like beep, and then the sheep just bounces and kills the guy. The guy comes back to his body. You see the sheep again, and chases him, kills him. And this time, the third time around, he's like looking around. He's like, "Who's doing this?" He's like, he sees the sheep bouncing again. He's like, he's trying to run away. He's like, "Oh fuck!" And the sheep's not gonna go away. It's gonna go to its target wherever it is. So you just wait for like 20 minutes. Also, you just hear a boom. He dies, and he leaves. I thought that was great. Of explosive sheep.
Joe,
Shut
Hi.
up, Colorado.
what do you like in gaming?
Well, what I used to do when playing both Call of Duty and Halo 3, that was probably the peak of me playing online, besides when I lived with you and I played Halo 4 all the time, which I was actually really good at SWAT. I just wanted to practice getting headshots.
Is that your favorite mode?
Are you kidding me? Oh, you were kidding me.
Dumbass.
But I used to, like... Son of a bitch.
I think there's a bear here.
A brown bear. Continue.
But I used to just, like, especially if... I don't remember if I did it before or after the game started. But I would just end up muting everyone and then just carrying on conversations with myself. And I critique team members. I wouldn't fire with my gun at all or defend them or anything. I just follow them around, telling them what they're doing wrong in the game.
Keep going.
That's it.
My favorite thing about the new generation of Xbox is that the Kinect will act as a mic when you don't want it to.
Yeah.
So people like my brother, who in general is a pretty nice person, when he plays video games, he usually never wears a headset, so he can be like, "Oh my god, my teammate is such a fucking asshole. What a stupid dick. He doesn't even know how to play." And then every now and then across the speakers will come, "What did you just say?"
Yeah, that was our thing when we were playing Halo that night. When I'm just going off the rails on everything, you're like, it'll be hilarious when we find out the Kinect's listening.
It is. It was.
Calling people cocks, and I'm telling them I hope they burn alive.
I've not seen Bill that violent in quite some time.
My favorite part of that, aside from like me calling a person a cock, my other favorite part from like the actual gameplay, we were playing Infection. You were up in a tower, and there's several windows, and we were playing split screen, and I was infected down at the bottom. There's one guy standing in front of a window, so I just look at your screen, and I'm like, okay, he's in that window to you, so that means he's in this window to me. So I position over, jump up, sliced.
But it wasn't even that. You waited until the guy walked up to the window on my screen to jump, so you know you'd kill him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I've been here for 2 seconds. How the fuck did he know?"
I get great joy from just stuff like that. See, if we were to do Halo LAN parties where we were all on teams, I want our TVs to be next to each other like that.
Well, remember when we did the LAN parties at Lance's house and we just completely everybody when we played any sort of game like that?
Yeah. I remember we got to this one point where we were like, Colorado and I on a team, and everyone's like, oh, cool, we're just going to win. And then it went on, and Bill and Colorado can't be on teams anymore. It was great. I liked it so
I
much.
played Assassin's Creed in the background.
Yeah. Sad, lonely.
Sad, lonely Joe.
Until Josh stole my Xbox and started playing some fucking game I don't remember.
Yeah.
It pissed me off.
You should have punched him in the face.
I should have.
punched him right in the face.